Hello. I just spent like all my time after I got home from work trying to get Tales of Innocence R English patch to work, and the person that was helping me and we just decided to just give up for now. Been working on it for like 2 hours. My brain is mush. Apparently, it's really complicated to just patch a Vita game to display English text. And I've been fighting with that like the majority of today, actually. It's very frustrating. The Vita does not have a good emulator, so luckily I have the real hardware. It's just ripping the game and getting it to run is it's very difficult. I can't even record it either because I gave my legit Vita to an old friend of mine. He wanted to play Final Fantasy with remote play. I told him it would have been better to just use Steam Link, but he was really adamant on wanting to do that, so I sold that to him a couple months ago. So all I have is my jailbroken one, which is fine with me because I don't really have anything to play on the Vita anymore. I played pretty much all the games I wanted to on there. It's like the one game library where I played literally every game that I was interested in. And I'm pretty damn proud of that, but kind of made having the legit Vita kind of pointless. I played pretty much all the action games on there, and a lot of the stuff that I did play got ported. Majority of the games did, and I bought a bunch of them, bought a bunch of those games on PC. Okay, you gonna give me my rewards? Where's my reward? It's midnight. This game's supposed to reset. What the hell? Do I have to relog? Okay, this worked. Where the hell's my stuff? Let's try relogging. I'm entitled to my 100 black cards for paying $6 a month or whatever it is. Now I'm a massive whale on this game. You know, I would whale on this game more if it wasn't so limiting. I whale on Pinnacle. I whale on Pinnacle because I can play that game for a long time. All right, there we go. It's working now. It's fine. I'm just looking for something to play. We'll probably get it working in the morning. Actually, the morning is the Gamescom stream. They're supposed to be showing stuff about the Ninja Turtles game today, so I'll probably stream that. I don't have anything important to do today, so I need to figure out exactly what time that's at, and I'll probably do it. I think people would like that. The Vita is not is the Vita is really easy to it's really easy to hack it, but doing what I'm trying to do, which is essentially I have a legal copy of the game, right? Like I own the game legally. I bought it several years ago off like Amazon or something. I don't remember where I bought it from, but I have a legal copy. The problem is that, you know, I would just go get a ROM for it, but oops. The ROMs that are on the internet don't have the right file. And, you know, it's not really a popular game. You know, it's not like it's Mario Brothers or something, so it's hard to find dumps for it. So what I'm essentially trying to do is take my legal copy of the game and dump a copy of it that the Vita will recognize, and then install the patch, which makes things a lot more complicated. I could just download the ROM, but the ROM that I found didn't work. Well, at this point, the only real option without going on shady-ass ROM sites is to rip my copy, but with the way that my hacked Vita is set up, it's very difficult to rip legal copies. So I've like ripped legal copies of my games before, but it's legit hard to do it with the Vita. They tried to lock the Vita down, which is hilarious when you think about it, because they dropped support for it within like the first 2 years. First party support was dropped. It was pretty much entirely just indies and Japanese developers were the only ones really putting anything out for it. They didn't want it to be like the PSP, which was piss easy to hack, and you know, if you were low income, there was no reason to ever buy any games on there. They didn't want it to be like that, but ironically, like it ended up just being a visual novel machine, which isn't a bad thing, you know. That's a fan base that also doesn't really get much love, but I just find it funny that they went through so much to try to prevent people from hacking it. It still got hacked, but most people are just using it for patches and stuff. Because the games themselves are dirt cheap. It's mostly just the fact that the proprietary memory card really held the console back. I think that actually hurt it a lot too. The fact that you could get the games legally for like nothing, but you know, you needed memory to store them on, and they wanted you to buy those expensive cards. I actually have a 64 gig, the one that I gave to my friend. That's precisely the problem, is like you're worried about piracy, but it's hard to even buy the games legally. That's what makes no sense about the whole thing. Like, I get not wanting it to be like the, you know, the PSP or the Dreamcast, where it was so easy to pirate stuff that, you know, unless you had a lot of disposable income or you had morality issues with pirating stuff, or you were just rich, there was no reason to buy anything. I can understand that, but you already had to, like, make a lot of those decisions already, just because of how expensive the memory cards were. Unless you had fast enough internet to just keep re-downloading stuff, it was a pain. I say that as somebody, I bought a ton of games for the Vita. I bought a lot. I bought, like, several dozen. I was a very, very heavy Vita user. But it got to the point where I had to keep uninstalling stuff, and I got tired of that. So I stopped buying things. I get that they were trying to make a profit off something that they were selling at a loss, but it really did hurt things a lot when you think about it. You know, you don't have that problem on the Switch. You can buy like a 512 gig card for like $60. That's pretty much enough to have like 200 games. That's why the Switch sells so much. One of the reasons why. It's actually, the process of buying games is a lot simpler. Reset. It's like people don't really pirate Switch games, as far as I understand. It's too difficult. The only reason I've ever really wanted to jailbreak my Switch is just for patches. There's like a lot of performance patches and mods and stuff. That's like all I really want. Most of the games I bought, unless it was stuff for the channel, has been dirt cheap, like under $20. Why would you pirate something like that? It's just a pain to hack it. I haven't really wanted to. I was gonna wait until Switch 2 comes out, so I could run mods. Pretty sure the Switch 2 is going to be next year. Pretty obvious. Damn it. それは隠れているつもりですか。芳しくないですね、この状況は。今回も完璧な河川でした。
私を見た者は深淵に消えるのよ。弱い。
ご命令を。
深淵に飲み込まれろ。私の力はどう？存分に楽しむよ。私を見た者は
Yeah, Gamescom is later today. There's gonna be stuff on Ninja
飲
Turtles.
み込まれろ。
Probably a couple other smaller games I might like, so I'm interested in watching it. I'm probably just gonna play something on my second monitor. It's probably gonna talk about like
存分
another
に楽し
800
むよ。
first-person shooters and zombie games, but they already confirmed there's gonna be some Ninja Turtles today, so I'm in there for that. I really don't think that game's gonna make this year. Unless they do like some weird shadow drop thing where it's gonna randomly come out in like October, but it seems really unlikely. If they're starting to like only really market it now past the reveal trailer, it doesn't really seem like it's gonna be ready.
遅い。
Depends on how long they were working on it. I don't know if it was
私の力
one of
は
those
どう？
reveals where they've been working on it for like a month, or if it's like if it was like a DMC5 type reveal where they had been working on it for years, and they were pretty much just polishing the game by the time that they announced it. I guess we'll find out later today if it was
深淵に消えるのよ。
you know, an Elder Scrolls 6 reveal or a DMC5 tier reveal.
弱い。
Those are like the two tiers for video game reveals. The opposite sides of the spectrum.
私の力はどう？
You have like
存分に
the
楽しむ
sequel to
よ。
Skyrim, which is literally just an empty canyon and a logo. And then you have the DMC5 reveal where they already had gameplay, and the game was like 9 months out.
私を見た者は
I'm curious.
深淵に消えるのよ。
Seems like they're pretty far along from that gameplay trailer, but that trailer also had barely any gameplay. It was mostly just the animated stuff, which was really cool.
私の力はどう？存分に楽しむよ。
Yeah, those are like the two tiers of video game hype reveals. Like when they just show a logo and the game's like 5 years out, or
私を見た者は
DMC5 where it's like, hey, we've been secretly working on this for like 3 years, and you're gonna be playing it in less than a year.
弱い。
Those are the kind of reveals I like. The people that make the Yakuza games do that too. Like they revealed the sequel to Judgment. That was back in like May,
存分
wasn't
に
it?
楽しむよ。
It's like May or June, like pretty recently, and it's gonna be out in a few weeks. Those guys get it. Like, just keep the game to yourself when you barely started working on it.
私を
Don't
見た
show it to
者
the
は
public until,
深淵に消え
you
るの
know,
よ。
it's like 6 months to a year off. There's still time to like market the game and hype it up,
ご
but
命令を。
it doesn't feel like you need to put the pre-order slip in your will.
私の力は
There
どう？
definitely are some games like that, like Cyberpunk is a perfect example. People pre-ordered that game like 8 years ago, and it like just barely came out. Yeah, I don't want to know about the game when they don't have anything to show. I'd rather know about it when I can actually play it. Actually, let me look up when that Gamescom stuff is. I need to plan this out. So I'm pretty tired. Let's see. When exactly do I need to be up and streaming? It's 11 a.m. my time, so a little less than 12 hours. So let me pull this up really quick so you guys can see it. Okay, so there's a couple things here. Bandai Namco might get like a I don't really know what to expect from them. Could be anything because we all know they had jack shit for E3. They had that, what is that game called? The Abyss or whatever? That was the only thing they had. So hopefully they have something to show here. The only thing I'd really want is a new Gundam Breaker or like more Tales ports. Those are the kind of things that might get announced here. Dotemu's gonna have Ninja Turtles. Um, Slow Clap is gonna have more on Sifu. I'm interested in that game. Uh, PlayStation might have something. Sega. I don't really think there's anything there I'd care about. I might try that Sonic Colors game. I never played that before. Um, Xbox might have some Game Pass stuff. Actually, they did announce that um, all the Humble Bundle published games are going to be on Game Pass day one. So Flynn, and Unsighted and Bushiden are going to be on there on day one. So that's going to save me a lot of money. Other than that, the rest of this stuff I don't care about. I don't care about any of these other developers. Devolver might have something, but Devolver hasn't had a game I've wanted to play in a long time. Yeah, the big ones for me for the channel is going to be Bandai Namco, and then Ninja Turtles, and then that's pretty much it. The rest is kind of a crapshoot. Alright, what now? I don't really play a lot of these games anymore. Most of them I don't play. Actually, let's just get rid of these. I don't play that. Or this. I don't even play this anymore. I just keep it installed to collect the gold. I quit that game cold turkey. It's disappointing how pay to win it really is. It's a very pay to win game. It's just it cosplays as free to play friendly, but it really isn't. Yeah, PGR is good, but I hate the stamina system. I can't even play that game for more than like 20 minutes a day, which is ridiculous. That game really blue balls you with the stamina. It's the worst stamina system I've seen in any of these games. You know, I don't inherently hate stamina. I've played countless games over the past like 20 years that have stamina. Like that part doesn't bother me. It's just the fact that you get so little of it and the levels take so much. You can't really play for long. Yeah, the stamina is really restrictive in that game. That's why I play other stuff. Let's see, what does this say? Huh. Doesn't look like anything interesting, just a new battle pass. Let me go ahead and check the site really quick. Oh, they haven't updated the site yet. By the way, Cyan, your guy has good taste in video games. I saw that he uploaded a video of Assault Spy that got like 10,000 views. I'm very proud. The algorithm was nice to him. That's pretty damn cool. Getting those kinds of views off that game is not easy. A lot of the DMC players never really gave it much of a chance. It definitely has a very different control scheme, so I can understand it. But yeah, I saw my subscription box and I'm like, wow, he put up a video. He put up a video that got like 16,000 views of Assault Spy of all things. That's an accomplishment. Assault Spy is a fucking masterpiece. I love that game. I might play that tonight, actually. Been dealing with tech support all day, so... I've never talked to him before, but you obviously have good taste in guys if you're dating somebody who plays Assault Spy. You should have a dating site just for people who play Assault Spy. That'd be the best gimmick dating site. Heartsar is also a very good game. Heartsar is good stuff. I wish they would, like, build off that game instead of just doing this shit where they don't stagger to anything. I still have some hopes for Arise, but I'm pretty disillusioned with it. I couldn't even, like, get through the demo. But apparently it's an old build, so hopefully some polish has been done. I just didn't feel like grinding out the demo. I got a feel for the battle system. But I mean, it's already like a screenshot floating around the internet of there being an air dodge, so that fixes a lot of the jank right there. Because in the demo, the aerial moves are like pointless because you can't dodge out of them, and you're fighting just walls of hyper armor that just shrug off everything you do. But if there's an air dodge, that right there fixes like almost all the jank, as long as the air dodge is responsive. Once I saw that, I'm like, alright, I got the hang of this battle system. And if I do buy the game, I know it will be better than the demo. And Tales demos usually do a pretty shit job of actually giving you a decent amount of the mechanics so that you can actually be educated when you buy it. This one is better than a lot of the other ones, but it's still not very good. Best Tales demo is by far the Graces F demo, because that places you in the end game. You get like a bunch of the moves and you get Excel mode and stuff. Pretty much every other Tales demo has been really bad. I don't think I'll like the game that much, but I have hopes for mods, at least. At the same time, complaining about the demo doesn't really make much sense either. We already know that there's an air dodge. That fixes a pretty significant chunk of the jank. The only other part that needs to be fixed is, if you want me to fight walls of hyper armor the whole game, then my character needs to be responsive, and he or she needs to be able to cancel out of a move at any given time in the animation, not at the end. It doesn't make sense to have that restriction when they're going balls deep on hyper armor. I don't know, it's a weird flex to me. I don't understand why it's designed that way. Yeah, the Graces F demo was really good. But someone's gonna mod that shit in for PC anyway, so I don't even really feel like complaining about that anymore. Someone's gonna mod that in like instantly. They already have that for Kingdom Hearts 3. They have like a full like responsiveness mod that someone made. You can cancel out of anything, pretty much like frame 1 or something. But I'm not really a big Kingdom Hearts guy, so I don't know how much that changes things. But that's pretty damn cool. Well, hopefully the full game is more responsive, because I got a couple minutes into that demo, I'm like, alright, I'm fighting just walls of armor, and my character is not responsive. They don't cancel out of things fast enough. So, how am I supposed to use your dodge button when I have to wait until the end of an animation, which just does not work? It's too clunky. Yeah, the Graces F demo was definitely the best demo they've ever done for a Tales game. They just kind of put you in a late game dungeon with pretty much all the game mechanics. So, you know, if you like that demo, you would like the full game. Whereas pretty much all the other demos they've done before and since then are they're shit representations of the game. Vesperia is a perfect example. Vesperia probably prevented more people from buying the game than it actually sold copies. Because they place you at the beginning of the game with an underleveled party against the OG gatekeeper boss, Gattuso. You have like no tools. That is a real shit demo. I think that's actually one of the worst demos I've ever played. It still got me to buy the game, but I'm obviously an outlier. You know, if like Reddit and shit was around back then, people would be saying like, you know, this game is bad, this demo is a impossible boss. They're not entirely wrong. Gattuso has always been a gatekeeper boss in Vesperia, but I don't know if putting him as the demo boss is really accurate. A good way to get people to buy your game. It would have been better if they just put you in the Koi Forest and you fought like the Egg Bear or something. So it's like you're still fighting a boss, but it's not like a bullshit gatekeep boss. Yeah, they've always had a hard time like doing demos for Tales. Because it's like they don't want to spoil the mechanics, but Tales games really drip feed mechanics most of the time. Usually not done like getting mechanics until you're like halfway through the game or more. And that's not even counting like New Game Plus stuff. Hold on. Yeah, that's why I still have some hope for Arise 2. I still have some hope for it. But I'm also a PC gamer, so I know people will mod like everything I hate about that game out. Obvious that will happen. We'll make the game more responsive. They'll probably make the bosses stagger. Get rid of all the jank. And they've already done that for DMC5. You can just remove all the bad bosses. Yeah, and I look forward to you bombarding my inbox with mods and shit. I look forward to it. Softlock? What is this, Avengers now? Or the controller stopped working too. What the hell? It's weird. Samurai Warriors 5 is such a shit game. It really is. A couple people are saying it's the best Musou game. I'm like, have you played a good Musou game? Have you played Basara? Have you played any of the good stuff that Koei put out in the past? Like, that game does not even compare. There's no in-game content, there's no build variety. Barely any movesets. And the ones that are in the game are barely good at best. The people on the Dynasty Warriors Reddit seem to be in love with that game. I just don't, I can't fathom why. Why are you guys so enamored with that game? Soft locked again. What's going on with this today? This game's cursed. It's not working. Game no worky. Damn, I felt like playing this today. What the hell is going on? It's glitched. What happened? Can I play the video game? Alright, worked that time. That was weird. What happened? Like, why is the trigger not working? No, it's just that they don't have any standards. Stop accepting clones. Stop saying that clones are okay. You want the games to be mediocre and not worth buying when you say that. It really bothers me. Like, oh, I don't mind the clones. Okay, so you want them to give you literally half of a game. That's what you're saying when you say that. You want half of a game. You don't want the game to be finished. You don't want to buy a finished product. Because that's what you're conveying when you say that. You're not even implying it, you're just straight up saying it. It's okay for them to do a full reboot and still have all these clones, and most of the movesets suck. Because you guys are accepting of clones. Accepting of the game being early access. Samurai Warriors 5 really does feel early access. Actually feels a lot like this game when it came out. It was a lot less polished. A lot of the moves weren't in. And he had like half of the game programmed and ready. Amelia was not in. The guard break system was not in. A lot of the mechanics were not in. Playing really bad today. I haven't played this game in a while. It's been a couple weeks since I played this last. game really... The sound effects, the impact of the moves is really good in this game. Proves that you can have a combo-heavy game and there can still be a sense of impact. The sound effect and then the presentation really nails, like, you're hitting these robots hard. So it's not a gory game, it doesn't need gore porn to convey all the crazy shit you're doing. It's just the explosions and the presentation really helps. This game does not have good graphics. It's a better job of making it look cool than a lot of more higher budget games, that's for sure. I think this game nails its presentation, even though the quality of the assets is below, like, you know, your AAA stuff. Even modest budget stuff like Tails and Koei Tecmo stuff. Medic. A lot of the voice clips from this game that the robots say, they're actually from Unreal Tournament. And I recognize them because I used to play Unreal Tournament with my mom when I was younger. Like the medic and stuff, I'm pretty sure those are from the original Unreal Tournament. One from like 98 or whatever. He used a lot of assets from the asset store to make this game, which is not a bad thing. I want this guy to work himself to death. That's one of the first things I noticed when this came out. It's like distorted voice samples from the OG Unreal Tournament from like 23 years ago. I'm sad that series died. They were working on a new Unreal Tournament for a while, but they strapped all those people down to make shit for Fortnite. Probably thought it wouldn't sell. You're not entirely wrong. Quake Champions went nowhere. That game, like, never took off. Kind of like Dead on Arrival. Like, they feel like they can't make an arena FPS without all the, like, esports stuff, like heroes and abilities and stuff. There is that one arena shooter that's doing really well, though. That's pretty cool. I think it's a pretty small team that's making that game. I don't think there's anything happening with Unreal. They got as far as getting the musician, Alexander Brandon, who put out a lot of really fire tracks in the 90s. They got him to come back. And I guess he had started making some tracks, but then it got canceled because they made all those people work on Fortnite. I'm sorry, Fortnite is not a replacement for an arcade arena shooter at all. That's a garbage replacement. But Fortnite prints money, and it's got like every 8-year-old kid on the planet playing it, so Unreal Tournament is dead. It doesn't really surprise anybody that that happened, though. I mean, it's painfully obvious that they would do that. It's Epic, they're not even like an IP farm anymore. They're like literally just Fortnite and the Epic Store. So I played a lot of their games growing up. A lot of their PC games, all the shareware and stuff. I played a lot of those games to death, but then first it was Unreal. When Unreal came out, they stopped doing all the other stuff, and then the Unreal Engine came out, and that was all they pretty much did as a company. And then Fortnite happened, and Fortnite, I remember when that game came out, like nobody was playing it. It wasn't until they added the Battle Royale that anybody cared about that game. It really does go to show that if you can turn a bad game around. You can turn something that no one likes around. It's just it takes a ton of effort and a lot of luck. And I really don't think that will happen with Avengers, though. I think Avengers is just a lost cause. They're just clueless on how to like keep people playing. I maxed out Black Panther. That game was like the only thing I was playing for a couple days besides my service game stuff at work. That was the only game I was playing. How much time did I log into that game? Past 2 weeks, I've done 30 hours. But there's nothing left for me to do. Like, I've done everything. The only thing to do is grind for loot that they limit how many you can get a week. And there's like 80 layers of RNG. I feel like they could turn Avengers around. It's one of those things it's too big to fail, but they just don't have the right people working on it, and they're taking too long to fix stuff. I understand, COVID hit the dev team for that game hard, because they're actually here in California. And California has been hit hard by COVID and wildfires. Wildfires have been really bad here, and they got hit hard by that. They've had to work from home. And I understand that. I understand that's why, Black Panther took so long to come out, because it's a lot harder to coordinate between like three big studios on a AAA game from home. It's just like not really logistically easy or feasible. But shit like the loot, you should not need to do all that coordination to just fix the loot. Like, make it so I can get more than one of them a week guaranteed. Fix the drop rate on the other one, the one that takes like over an hour to finish. Make the loot actually interesting, and boom, you would at least have more people coming back, and they would be sticking around for longer, which means that there's a higher chance that they would buy those skins, because the skins are like the only thing that's really keeping the game afloat. That's just what bothers me about that game. It's unreasonable for people to expect their content release schedule to be as good as other games, because they're in a California has been fucked. It's been fucked for a while, but a combination of the the pandemic and the wildfires has made it really hard. The state's been on fire like every summer for a couple years, but it's been really bad since the pandemic started. I don't fault them for that. It's just, how do you go through all that to make like basically something about maybe 75% of the size and scope of a normal AAA campaign? How do you get that far and then realize, like, wait, once people finish this, they have nothing to do because there's no end game? Like, why couldn't you have fixed the loot? That's why people are not sticking around, because there's just nothing to do. New Genesis has that same problem. New Genesis has that same problem, but they're also just seems like they really want people to come back for the winter update. I don't really think that will fix the problems with the game. The dead open world, the enemies that run away from you, the stiff combat, how dumbed down it feels, like just none of that stuff's going to be fixed anytime soon. They actually had an interview where they're like, why, someone asked them like, why are there only 3 moves for all the characters? They're like, all the classes. They're like, oh, well, we can't fit them on the palette, so we just made it easier. So it's like, okay, so you're openly admitting to dumbing down the game, making it objectively worse. Yes, there were a lot of useless moves in vanilla PSO2. There are a lot of moves that you never really used because they never really got buffed. You know, they buffed the damage on them, but utility-wise, they were useless. They definitely could have truncated the moveset a bit, but having it only 3 moves, it makes the game really boring. Like you have like 6 sub-palette slots. You could still like use that. You could at least have like 6 moves instead of 3. I don't think people will be like that overwhelmed. I know that interview just pissed me off. Like I don't know why they got the episode 5 director to come back. He basically almost killed PSO2 last time. I don't know why he's in charge of New Genesis. Like, oh, we're just going to admit to dumbing down the game so that people don't play it, which is exactly what's happening. The player base is plummeting. It's a shame. I really wanted that to be my big service game like the original game was. I played that game on this channel for like 8 years. That was like the longest, most constant game I've played on here in the 16-year lifespan of this channel. New Genesis just failed to deliver. I'm actually going to pull up that interview right now. So it makes me angry just reading it. I do think people are a little bit too hard on the Avengers team, is they don't realize how hard it is to make a big game like that when you have no access to like an office and stuff, and there's like hundreds of people making it. But they definitely do deserve the criticism on the loot. That should be like the easiest thing to fix. It doesn't even like require any new assets. That's what's crazy about it. Like, it's one thing when people say like, "Oh, I want more characters," or "I want a new hub world," or "I want a new open world area." You know, those are unreasonable requests because it takes a lot of work and money. But the sensible people are just saying, "Fix the fucking loot," so that the gameplay loop actually works. And they just like refuse to do that. It's really weird to me. It's like they want the game to fail. Yeah, they don't do live streams for this anymore. I really liked watching those for the original game. That was really fun. Really felt like you were part of a community. But they're saying that they are doing everything worldwide this time, so I guess it makes it easier. It would be pretty terrible to watch. I don't know if you guys have ever watched like when they do like Japanese game stuff and they have someone translating. It's very hard to watch. You know, this I can get behind. This I think is actually a good change. All the stuff is available in Japanese and English at the same time. How did they start this back in 2017 and it has like no content? What happened there? Yes, the graphics of the field. How about the dumbed down combat? Fix that. They're not doing drip feed. The update policy is slightly different between PSO2 and New Genesis. PSO2 has been updated once every 2 weeks with the concept of having some fun every week. In New Genesis, it is a policy to take time to make a large volume and release it every 6 months so that there will be a wave in the amount of content. The development team knows that some users are playing around and taking a break, and we're working hard to make something good so that they come back with every major update. I don't disagree with that because definitely a lot of these service games where they update so fast that it starts to feel like a job and you don't have time to play anything else. I actually like that the game is just devoid of anything right now. I don't feel pressured to play it. I'm playing other stuff I like more. I feel like they should fix some things in the game that don't require making new assets, like make the classes more responsive for one. Bring back the cancel timings from the original game. I would actually feel like playing the game more if that was the case. And people keep asking them to do that, and they're not doing it. They have like those Breath of the Wild dungeons in the game where you load into an instance, but there's no reason to do them more than once. And those are actually quite fun because it's a set challenge. It's like an actual curated level. It's not just enemies around on an open field. But there's no reason to do them more than once. That's like really easy stuff that they could do too, like attach like rewards and buffs and stuff to doing those more than once. That doesn't require any assets at all. You already made them months ago. There's some pretty good takes down here too. See if I can find it. I think I'm gonna go to bed so I can be up for the Gamescom. Yeah, I actually like this too. I like that urgent quests aren't the entirety of your character progression. I spent a lot of time idling in that game, many hours. I would wake up at like ass o'clock because I was playing on the Japanese server, so prime time for them was like 4 in the morning for me. I actually do like this quite a bit. The emergency quests are nice, but you don't have to like mold your life around them. I actually think this is a very good change. Yeah, I hope that they keep it like that. I definitely hated having to like mold my life around the game. It was hard to do at certain times, especially now that I'm doing the kitty sitting job too. It would be a lot harder for me to do that because I'm over there like anywhere from 3 to 5 hours a day. I like the dash too. I don't hate everything about New Genesis. I actually like the dash as well. I think it could do with being a little bit faster, but you're not spamming moves just to get around. I think that part actually feels very nice. This is what pisses me off right here. This is what I fucking hate. They're openly admitting to dumbing down the game. The number of photon arts and techniques is smaller than immediately after the service of PSO2. Please tell me the reason. In PSO2, the normal attack was actually just a means of recovering photon points, and there were some PAs that were not very effective. Also, I intentionally narrowed down the number because it couldn't fit in the palette, which is dumb. People that have been playing this game since 2011 are already accustomed to having like two or three of the same weapon. That's something that's, people are already used to doing. The development team believes that the options are not reduced because there are actions that are required by skill acquisition, actions that change with additional input, and actions of other weapons with multi-weapons. It does fix the problem, but it feels like it really does dumb the game down. I hope that they won't double down on that. Or definitely, some of the stuff he's saying is it's not like it's not true. I like how they have more stuff with the normal attack. I think that actually feels really nice. Um, some PAs not being very effective, yes. They didn't really... PSO2's lifespan, they mostly just adjusted the damage. There were some moves that got like hitbox buffs and stuff, but for the most part it's mostly just damage. I hope that they'll relax that, not just double down on it. It does feel dumbed down. Looks like they're gonna buff Braver. It's Braver as shit to play compared to the original. Much worse. There's a good take in here. I'm trying to find it. I read this earlier. Yeah, they really don't want us customizing and having options. Yeah, pick a class and no need to think about what to use. We did it for you. Fuck that. Oh well. I hope they can turn that game around, but I don't have the most confidence. I'm very, very disappointed. As somebody who put countless hours into the original and played it since it came out. It's a bummer. Oh. You're making a VR Sam and Max game? What? What the hell? I used to play Sam and Max when I was a kid. Why is it VR? Hey, this looks cool. What is this? Alright, let's get the gameplay, please. This actually looks pretty awesome. Wow, why have I not heard of this before? This looks pretty cool. Looks like it's Korean developed. Oh, that's wish listed. I'll try that game out later on. I might pick this up, but this game was like weirdly stiff. I wonder if they've like touched it up at all, or did they just put it in HD. It says rebalance gameplay. I might add this to the schedule. I'm thinking about it. Rebalance difficulty. I don't think they did anything with the mechanics. That game was okay. It wasn't like spectacular, but it was alright. I think I got like halfway through it. Wonder if I get this for free if I have the other one. I have the other one on here. The old one. Are they going to be that nice? How much, do they have system requirements for this yet? Well, the system requirements are very modest. I just don't know, I don't know what performance target this is. Yeah, I'm hopping off in a couple minutes, James. You're not gonna miss anything. I'm gonna get to bed so I can be up for the Gamescom thing. Just doing a little dumpster diving here. Well, I'll probably pay that off. As much as I hated the demo, I'll probably pay that off next week. Or if I get a donation. Somebody said that they were gonna pay for that game for me, but they haven't been in here for a while, so it's whatever. Whoa, what is this? Are these old games? Yeah, they look pretty old. Oh, that's right. Flynn comes out. Flynn comes out this month too. But that's going to be on Game Pass, so I don't think I'll have to buy that one. I'm going to apply for a key for that one. Metallic Child on the 16th, I'm interested in that game too. Well, if you guys haven't liked how I haven't been doing anything new for a while, you're gonna get your wish next month because there's tons of shit coming out. I wonder if this is still coming out. I'm interested in this game too. I don't know if they have like a Twitter or something. Yeah, this game looks legit. I kind of hope it does not come out next month because I just won't have time to play it. It doesn't look like they have anything resembling a release date on here. Yeah, this game looks solid. Alright, well that's gonna do it for tonight. I'm gonna get to bed. I'll be up for... Well, I'll be up slash on for the Gamescom thing. It's probably only gonna be a couple games I'm interested in, but hopefully it will make up for E3. Just Bamco had a pathetic showing. They had that one game and they had like no weeb stuff, which is all anybody cares about from Bamco is the weeb stuff. It's kind of like Square Enix in a way. I mean, everybody's crazy for like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest and all the other smaller properties, and no one cares about stuff like Avengers and Tomb Raider. So hopefully they'll have something. I don't really know what to expect. They have been saying that Vesperia Remaster sold like 3 million copies, and they're actually going to look into porting the old games, which I think is very exciting. I'm very happy for that news, even if I hate Arise as much as I think I will, because I'm sure you guys are aware, but it's really hard to get into Tales games. It's the hardest JRPG series to get into. Um, Pretty much anything else is easier. Persona is not much better actually, but Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, and Ys, you can play most of those games like right now. So I'm really excited for that. I'm glad that I bought the remaster twice because that's definitely something they need to do. I think it's a little weird that they went like 5 years without a mainline game and they only did one port. And they could definitely port a lot of those old ass games over and people would play them just because there's no like legal way to actually access them anymore. You have to get like long dead consoles and find rips of them and stuff. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I shall see you guys in the morning.